everyone. Welcome to Athlon Sports Weekend Preview, the fastest 5 minutes in college football. My name's Braden Gall, alongside managing editor for Athlon Sports, Mitch Light. Mitch here to make all his picks for championship week, big-time weekend of college football. But first, I want to wish congratulations to Brian Kelly and the Cincinnati Bearcats for their first ever Big East title. And if the USC Trojans take care of business against UCLA, 7 straight Pac-10 titles and 7 straight BCS games for Pete Carroll. So congratulations to both of those teams, as well as some of the other championship games in the MAC. Ball State and Buffalo. Ball State, undefeated season. Buffalo searching for their first ever bowl game.
Yeah, interesting story here. Buffalo, Turner Gill has done a phenomenal job with this program. Inherited one of the worst situations in 1A and got them to a bowl game, first in school history. But they only went 5-3 in league play. 2 really close wins, 2 overtime wins, and that Hail Mary play against Temple. So they deserve to be there. They won their division. But I guess the point being, if they were in the West, they won the MAC East. If they were in the West, they would have tied for 4th with Northern Illinois. So the power, obviously, in the West there. Ball State, undefeated, defeated better teams. They defeated Central Michigan, defeated Western Michigan. Ball State, just the better team here. Great story for Buffalo. Ball State marches on, another win.
A 13-0, great season for Ball State, absolutely. In Conference USA, East Carolina and Tulsa. East Carolina, #1 defense in the Conference USA. Tulsa, the #1 offense in Conference USA.
Yeah, Braden, who would have thought that at the beginning of the year, after East Carolina opened up with wins over Virginia Tech and West Virginia, top 15, that they'd be 14-point underdogs or 2-touchdown underdogs in their own championship game. But they kind of stumbled mid-season, and Tulsa has put up some just unbelievably gaudy numbers as usual. Gus Malzahn's done a great job there. But against good competition, they slipped up a little bit. They lost to Arkansas, and they lost to Houston, gave up 70 points to Houston. East Carolina, on the other hand, far more battle-tested. They've just played better teams. In addition to those 2 early season wins, they lost in overtime to a good North Carolina State team, and they lost to Virginia. So they're used to seeing better teams. If Tulsa had played that schedule, they would have had more losses, I think. So even though East Carolina 2-touchdown underdog, I like the Pirates to win this game. It's at Tulsa, but I like East Carolina.
In the ACC, Boston College and Virginia Tech, a rematch from earlier this season, a game Boston College won, but Virginia Tech able to run the ball 150 yards, the second worst rush defense performance, I should say, by Boston College this year. Who you like in this one?
Well, to your point about Virginia Tech, that's especially earlier in the year, that's the only way they really can move. We're moving the ball, running the ball. What struck me about that game is 28-23, but only 540 yards of total offense, which isn't horrible, but that's just not a lot of yards for that many points in the game there. And BC's quite a different-looking team now. Chris Crane is out, Dominique Davis in. The 2 games where he's played a lot, they really haven't asked him to do a lot. They basically run the ball. Virginia Tech, they don't excite you on offense, but they've been good on defense. Neutral site here in Tampa. This game never has the atmosphere of the SEC title game and the Big 12 title game. Won't be full, but I like Virginia Tech to win this game.
Well, you said SEC title game and Big 12 title game, so let's get on to the big ones. Alabama and Florida down in Atlanta. The #1 defense in Alabama, just like Conference USA, the #1 offense in Florida. Florida's just been on an unbelievable roll. Does anyone have the ability to stop this team?
Well, if one team does, I think it's Alabama, but there's, we've talked about this, Braden. There's 2 schools of thought with Florida right now. One is that they're this indestructible force that will just demolish anything in its path, and that's the school I subscribe to. I just think they're on an absolute roll. Or you can say, hey, Alabama's really good on the offensive line, really good on the defensive line. They protect the football. They force turnovers. Nick Saban, coach, obviously they know how to win there. They've had a great regular season. But I just think Florida has too many weapons on offense. They've done so much damage against really good teams. It's not like they were beating up on some bad defenses. Pretty much, with the exception of the Citadel in this late season run, every team they played had a pretty good defense. So I think Florida marches on to the national title game. I want to say it's going to be comfortably. It's not going to be like it's been in the past 5 weeks where they're just scoring 6 touchdowns before their opponent scores 1 touchdown. I think Alabama put up a nice fight here, but I like Florida to march on.
Yeah, if Alabama can control the line of scrimmage a bit, kind of take the air out of the ball and dominate up front, they might have a chance. But I think Florida, with all that talent on offense, too much explosiveness, I like the Gators to win as well.
I think Alabama has to get off to a quick start and kind of impose their will early on Florida.
If Florida gets out to an early lead, big play to one of the receivers,
right,
it might be over early for Alabama. But great season for Crimson Tide and Nick Saban, obviously doing a great job down there. Missouri and Oklahoma in the Big 12, a rematch of last year's title game. Sam Bradford, not a huge game last year against Missouri. DeMarco Murray didn't play, but this year, 60 points in 4 straight, absolutely clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, they're on a Florida-like roll offensively, and I'm a little worried Missouri gave up 375 passing yards to Kansas last weekend. That neutral field loss to the Jayhawks, so that's not a good sign when you're about to play Sam Bradford, who's playing as well as any quarterback in the country, just playing almost perfect football right now. If you want to find fault with Oklahoma, you can say, hey, they've given up some points and some yards in the past month, but when you're scoring, like you said, Braden, 50 and 60 points, it really doesn't matter. With so much on the line, I think Oklahoma just keeps on winning, puts up a big number. I can't see Missouri holding them to under 50 points.
So according to Mitch Light, the Florida Gator-Oklahoma Sooner National Championship game has been set. Still got some business to take care of.
Both teams.
But two great offenses. Should be a wonderful show if that's what happens down in the Orange Bowl for the title game. We're patriotic here at Athlon Sports, so I do want to talk a little Army-Navy here. Just one of the best rivalries in the history of college football game I would love to go to, but haven't made it to yet.
Yeah, great game, and Army has gotten a lot better under Stan Brock in year 2. The record's not much better. They're 3-8 last year, 3-9 this year, but the defensive stats are a lot better. And after a horrid start offensively, they've gotten better there. But Navy has dominated the series under Paul Johnson. They were 6-0. Obviously now Paul Johnson's doing some good things at Georgia Tech, but this team now 7-4 this year, headed back to a bowl game. Army getting better, but Navy still a lot better. Midshipman will roll.
Midshipman roll. Mitch Light, managing editor for Athlon Sports, thank you very much for your picks. As usual, enjoy championship week. I would normally send it to Stephen Lassen, college fantasy editor, but he's busy celebrating his 2008 Athlon Sports Fantasy Championship right now. Sitting on a beach somewhere drinking a pina colada,
or he's upstairs
I'm sure.
Working probably,
maybe working too. But congratulations to him for winning that as well. My name's Braden Gall. This has been the Athlon Sports Weekend Preview, fastest 5 minutes in college football.